Hey everyone, my name is Ian Bowles, and I'm here today to review and analyze the movie Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid was my favorite movie that we watched in our theater class. It is a phenomenal Western film about two men, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, that had a career of robbing banks in America, and the authorities began to catch on, and they didn't like that, so they ended up fleeing with Sundance's wife to Bolivia. In Bolivia, they were eventually caught and killed. This film is awesome because most of the filming is done on location. For the scenes that were in America, they filmed them in Utah, Colorado, and parts of New Mexico. For the scenes in Bolivia, they were filmed in a numerous amount of cities in Mexico. This is awesome because all of the lighting was natural lighting, and it was also awesome because there isn't much computer generated imagery or CGIs, which a ton of movies today use. This film was different from many other Western films because it didn't have as much violence. Western films back then, filmed in the same period, had a ton of violence and not much humor, as this one has quite a bit of humor and barely any violence. At one point in this movie, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid are being pursued by the top sheriffs from all around, and the camera angles in this were awesome. They foreshadowed that Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were going to get away. During the whole scene, most of the scene, Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid were filmed from a low angle shot, and this gave them like a power stance, and the others, the sheriffs chasing them, were filmed at a low angle shot. For example, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid are on top of a rock, and the camera is, from their point of view, looking down on the sheriffs, and they look minuscule and weak. And then down from the sheriff's point of view, the camera films Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and they are big and powerful. And this foreshadowed that they were going to get away, which they did. In this movie, there is a ton of zooming. Almost every single scene has a zoom scene, and this is so they can see the characters' expressions and emotions on their faces. It happens a ton in the chasing scene. They're always zooming in on Sundance's and Butch Cassidy's faces to show their expressions, whether they're happy, sad, or mad, or nervous, I guess. I found that the film stock in this movie was pretty cool. At the beginning, it's black and white, and then it kind of fades into a sepia for a while, and it has video and recording, and then it goes to full color. And then in the middle of the movie, there's a break where it fades to sepia, and it's during when Butch and Sundance's wife are going to Bolivia, and it has the scene probably around 5 minutes long of just them in pictures, and all the pictures in sepia, and then it fades out back to color, and then the next change is in the final scene, and this is a very important scene in the movie. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid are cornered in a shack in Bolivia, surrounded by hundreds of Bolivian authorities, and they didn't know that there were a ton, but they decided to go out guns blazing. Went out, took 2 steps, and then the camera froze, and the image of them began to fade, while you just heard gunshots in the background, and that was the most important scene in this movie. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie.